76ers. Well, that's it for injury news, but we have some interesting stuff as far as Giannis gets ejected after headbutting Mo Wagner, excuse me, only gets a 1-game suspension. Make sense of
Terrible.
that for me. Make sense of that.
I can't because okay, first of all, the Bucks have already secured the number one seed in the East. So that game that he got suspended for means literally nothing. Like if the NBA wanted to send a message and they wanted to suspend him and make it meaningful suspension, they would have said, "We don't care if you play in the last seeding game, but you're suspended at least one game during the NBA playoffs." Like that sends the message that this is not tolerated. There were people saying like, you know, players in the bubble are dealing with so many mental issues because some people, they play a game, then they get away from the team for a little bit, but now you can't do that because you're in the bubble. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's other people like Kawhi Leonard's been showing frustration. LeBron has been showing frustration. Like, there's a lot of players that are showing frustration, but this one obviously is the most apparent because he acted on his frustration, and
Yeah.
they should have cracked down on this. I mean, I think the NBA did a bad job of this one.
The one thing I will say is that Giannis, after the fact, handled the situation as best as he could. He did everything you're supposed to as far as took responsibility. He apologized for it and wants to move forward. He even went as far to mention to say that he had no problem with Wagner. It was just a build
Right.
up through the game he talked about that led to the headbutt. He didn't make up a story of Wagner said something about his mother or something crazy. Like, he didn't try to like justify it in any
Yeah.
way, shape. It was like he said, if I
I
could
just
go back and I'd take it back. Like, there's other players in the past, especially like in another sport, Miles Garrett, that
yeah.
is one that I led to. It's like when he had his outburst on the field, instead of just taking responsibility and saying, you know what, that was not supposed what I was supposed to do, he's like, oh, the other guy said the N word. Like that justifies what he said or what he did on the field. Now it's
Right.
like Giannis did not do that at all, and I respect him a lot for something like that. And I think that maybe that went into where it's like, okay, and you're saying with this COVID situation, maybe they've decided to
hmm
take it a little bit easier. Now he has a shorter leash. Maybe if he does something like that again, he's going to get a much stricter punishment. But they gave him a little leeway because he handled it as best as he was supposed to handle it after the fact.
Yeah. See, that's the key right here is how he was supposed to handle it. Because I feel like obviously what he said and everything is justified and it's true and what he like should have said. But it's almost like it's scripted. Like if you look back on the players that have like done similar things and have taken responsibility for it, they all follow that same mold. Where like if I could go back, I would fix it. I can't go back. I'm gonna fix it in the future. Like that's just what they're trained almost to say. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I wonder like how like honestly, truly genuine it was. And I don't think Giannis was a dirty player. He hasn't had any of these outbursts before or anything like that. But to say like you were frustrated for like 7 games of getting hit or 6 games of getting hit, and then this like you just take it out on a random player, I feel like that doesn't make any sense to me. But to each their own, I guess.
Well, what other like what else could it have been? Like maybe, but let's say Mo Wagner did say something stupid or whatever. It's like it's very mature to not put blame, like like try to like throw accusations at the other guy, trying to justify what you did. It's just like you know what? It was just a buildup of everything that's going on. I acted out. I should not have done that.
But it's
I
also okay.
apologize and I move forward.
So in this bubble, like, okay, you talked about the Miles Garrett thing. Think about how many like different things could have actually happened that the media or like the people there would never know because you have full helmets on. Well, I guess the quarterback didn't have his helmet on, but everyone has a helmet on. There's millions or hundreds of fans, thousands of fans in the stadium. In the bubble right now, there are virtual fans. There's no real fans. Like, there's nobody else in there really. So if he would have actually said like everything was caught, so like Giannis had no cop out basically, because like if this was a real game where they're at the Bucks stadium and there's a bunch of fans yelling and a bunch of stuff going on, like he could have then fabricated a situation, but because of like the situation, he's like, okay, I have no out. I just have to do this, right?
Maybe he went that deep into the thought process. Maybe he thought about uh,
or he's just an honest player and I'm crucifying him for no reason. But I'm just saying, like,
That's my thought process. I thought he would I just thought he handled it very well, and maybe that went into their thought process. And obviously, you said he doesn't have a long history. It's not Draymond Green. I saw a comment somewhere of the league. After Giannis's headbutt, the league has decided to fine Draymond Green $25,000. So,
dude, Draymond Green's checks are gonna be negative here in a little bit. Like he gets fined for literally, like, he went on TNT and got fined for tampering, for saying that Devin Booker should be with a better franchise. Like, come on, man. Like, what is going on?
That's funny.
Whatever.
But no, I'm in total agreement with you as far as the 1-game suspension of a game where he may not have played in anyway.
Right.
Is ridiculous. I mean,
absolutely ridiculous.
If you're going to do a 1-game suspension, I completely agree with you as far as, like, this should be a 1-game suspension in the playoffs. Or, right? I mean, they're going against the Magic.
Right.
Yeah, they're going against the Magic. You could still make a point that makes more sense, and it's not like you're going to lose Giannis for later rounds. Like, I'm sure they're also thinking, like, I don't want to lose the potential MVP for the remainder of the, like, you know, like, all of a sudden they lose him and the Magic beat the Bucks, and now I don't have Giannis to show for the next playoffs or whatever. Like, they're gonna be. You could have no Giannis the first round, and they're gonna beat the Magic.
They could rest him the whole series. Exactly. Yeah.
I think they should have. I agree that they should have done something more than just a one last play-in game that he was gonna play 15, 20 minutes in anyway. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. The like button is on this side for mobile. If you have any of your own thoughts or questions, comment down below. We may just answer it next video. Thanks. See ya.